Councillor Finch, please, and then we'll have Councillor Scott. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to say, you know, when going around the towns in Nuneaton and Bedworth, they do not talk about cycle lanes.
We're here at Warwickshire County Council where this person, Reform Councillor George Finch, who's in charge of the council, is giving his viewpoint on cycle lanes, somehow equating them with net zero, as if some people who don't believe in global warming don't use a bike. Who would have thought that we'd arrived at a point where bike lanes are now seen as being on the fringes of green energy madness?
This isn't... You think this is Warwickshire taxpayers' money. This is money that's being spent by national government to be put into Warwickshire. You need to realise that this is still taxpayers' money. It's still money that people would rather the government spend on other things. So what we're saying is no, we'll bounce that back to national government and they can work on other things as well. We should not be spending money on cycle lanes, because people in our towns are telling us, we want you to prioritise on other things, making sure that potholes get filled, making sure that roads, the conditions are good. And we have good roads in Warwickshire. We really do, and that's to the benefit of all of us. But what we need to realise is that we have to go back to priorities, go back to basics. It's simple. And unfortunately, the dream of net zero and cycle lanes is not achievable, and you have to stop this because it will eventually destroy our town centres. You're putting in cycle lanes around towns into Weddington. And do you know what, Councillor Candicott? No, I do not hate Weddington or not like it. I've been there for many years, went to school in Weddington, got good friends in Weddington, love the place, great social club as well. But what you need to realise is that that's not how you solve the problems. People are crying out for other things, homeschool transport, send provision. They're not crying out for bogus cycle lanes. You just have to go back to common sense politics, go back to what the people actually want, and that's just to see that their money is not being wasted.
I'd like to come to Councillor Jones, please.
Thank you, Chair. I don't know about sad, but I'm certainly getting a headache.
Apologies for the fact that sometimes Green Councillor Sam Jones's head is out of view. That's just the way it's filmed. Anyway, here Jones reacts to Finch's supposedly common sense viewpoints and chides him along the way for his petulant attitude.
Listening to all of this, unfortunately, it has been quite a frustrating debate so far, and I have to say I am really disappointed by the comments from the leader. Don't sigh at me. Look, the language that you've used here in this chamber today has been absolutely horrendous. You've insulted another council, and now you come in here suggesting that cycle lanes are some kind of frivolous expenditure of the woke agenda or something like that. It's ridiculous. I mean, you're seriously suggesting that instead of taking the money from the national government to implement the plans that are already agreed, you would rather send that money back so that they can, slightly lower the rate at which they're increasing the national debt. I'm sorry, that doesn't help ordinary people. That doesn't help ordinary people. And I thought that was what you and your party claimed to be about, helping ordinary people. Now, it's all well and good being here and representing the north of this county. And you stood up and you said Bedworth and Nuneaton. You didn't say Warwickshire. And I'll tell you right now, there are lots of people on this side of the chamber who sit in the south of this county where we talk to residents all the time and they are demanding cycle lanes. They do want that. But this is the problem with the way that you are running this administration, this siege mentality that you have, where you don't want to engage. We had a motion just previously put forward by the Lib Dems about providing a forum for us to join together and actually work together, as you've been asking us to do, and you refused it. You refused that offer. So I don't know what you want from us, because it sounds like you want us to just do whatever you want to be done. That is dictatorial, and that is not how we do. Like we're not sit in an oppositional chamber. We are in a semicircle because we are supposed to work together. That is the purpose of the layout of this room. And I don't see that energy coming from you or your cabinet or your administration. I just want to be able to work together productively and have the concerns of my residents who are asking for an increase in the availability and the accessibility to active travel to get what they are asking for. The money is there. The money has been allocated. To suggest that we could send it back to government just so that they could do something else with it, which I'm sure, I didn't realise you were such a fan of the way that the Labour government was spending all their money. But alas, I don't think that's a good way of spending the money that we have available to us. As has already been pointed out, the mention of capital versus revenue expenditure is bang on. It's completely right. These are schemes that could be implemented, and they will be implemented for life. Look at me when I'm talking to you, please, Councillor Finch.
I'm sorry, that's not acceptable. To call someone out like that, it really isn't. I'm trying to be even-handed here, and
No, you're
I
not.
am trying to be even-handed here. I am, but the personal attacks are coming.
Excuse me, Chair, can I just ask how you interpret that as a personal attack? I asked him to look at me.
Sir, that is out of order. Thank you.
Can you elaborate, please?
You're playing the man, not the issue.
I referred to him as Councillor Finch. I'm sure I'm entitled
That was
to...
respectful, yes. That was respectful, yes. I agree. Okay. Can
My
we stick
point
to the
is-
issue, please? The issues.
May I continue, Chair? May I continue, Chair? Thank
Of
you.
course you may.
My point is, Councillor Finch, it would be fantastic if you actually looked to work with other people, because if you did so, you might learn that the residents living in our neck of the woods might have different interests to the ones living up in the north. And that is okay, all right? That is allowed. But to run an administration in a way that prevents our residents from getting access to the facilities that they are asking for is not how you run a democratic institution. And that is your job. So please, please, just listen. Thank you, Chair.
Click here for a bunch of rotten, dumb and bigoted reform councillors who haven't got a clue how to run a council.